the channel. Now, in today's video is a little bit different. I'm going to be doing like a one-on-one talk video instead of more so like an education video teaching you how to do integrals and stuff like that, okay? Now, if you don't know who I am, my name's Levi Logan. I'm the owner of Numerical Tutoring, and pretty much what we're going to be discussing today is should someone do methods or not, pretty much, okay? So, this topic kind of gets underlined in between like year 10 and year 11, and it doesn't really get discussed too much. It's kind of like a impulsive decision straight away, and it's based on some ideas that we need to really talk about when moving forward in the education system, okay? So there are so many benefits and disadvantages to making this decision correctly or not that we need to talk about. So probably the biggest one we need to bring up is, okay, you need to do methods because you need it as a prerequisite at university, okay? So doing this is obviously a huge incentive to do methods, okay? Now, by doing this particular math class, it allows you obviously to do what you want to do at university. However, if you're not going to enjoy the actual class itself, then it's going to be a lot harder to get a higher grade in it because we do better at things we enjoy pretty much, okay? Now, when we're not enjoying something, obviously we have less incentive to study it, etc. So what usually happens is if someone does methods purely for the fact that they just need it for uni, then usually they'll lack the study for it. They'll hire like a tutor, etc. And they'll try and get their way through methods pretty much, but they'll never actually apply the thinking you'll use in methods in anywhere else. They'll just use it as a tick box. And for most people, that's okay, okay? But methods is designed to push a student, okay? And we should actually take advantage of that for many different reasons. So we're not going to use the math from methods in the real world, but we are going to use the problem solving in the real world, okay? And that's going to distinguish to an employer who's better and who's good, because it's about how you can solve a problem for an employer, which comes from the level of thinking that you develop with certain experiences. So for example, in my opinion, you're going to deal with more multi-stage level problems in methods than you would in essential math, okay? Like you might have a different opinion to that, then that's fine, but that's my opinion there, okay? So the big issue is, alright, university. What if they need it for university, okay? Obviously, do it if you do need it for university. However, you need to be doing it for more so than just that. You need to take it as an opportunity to better yourself pretty much, okay? Because if you're just doing it to tick a box, then it's going to be pretty hard to tick that box because that's your only motivation. And like, let's say you want to change uni courses and like, let's say you're halfway through year 12, then you might just give up on methods altogether. And then that will affect ATAR and other things as well. Now, another big thing as well that I want to bring up is you've been told you're not good at math, therefore you should do general or essential, okay? Now, in my opinion, this is absolutely rubbish, okay? So, when I was in year 10, I got a D+, and at the end of year 12, I got 92 out of 100 in specialist math, okay? Now, if you took me in year 10 and you took me in year 12, they're completely different people in terms of their ability to think. No, they're not. They're the same person. This person just learnt more and became that person, okay? But you have to start here to become this person as well. And that is with everything in life. So being told you're not good at something, yeah, that's probably true, but that just means you can get good at it. That's the same with everything. So, for example, what's something I'm not good at? Spelling. Oh gosh, terrible at spelling. Never asked me to spell anything. However, I could probably get good at spelling if I actually put the time and effort into it, okay? And that comes back to the idea, like, we put in time and effort into things we enjoy pretty much, okay? So, a lot of people get told not to do methods because they think, oh, I'm not smart enough. Well, that's not true. Everyone is fully capable of doing anything they want if they put enough time and effort. Now, some people would have to put more time and effort than others. So, the classic example is, okay, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard, etc. So if you've got someone who's naturally quite gifted at math, so they can do arithmetic in their heads, and there are some people out there, I have seen some people like that, then obviously you're going to have to work harder than them to probably get certain grades for them, okay? However, what usually happens as well is if someone gets A's throughout all of school, and then they hit methods. Now, if you have done methods, you'll know there's a big jump from year 10 math to year 11 math, usually, okay? Now, in that jump, usually what happens is grades either stagnate or they drop altogether by just 1 mark, not a big difference. So someone might go from a B to a C, and some people might go from a C to a D, okay? However, if you haven't developed the skill to actually study throughout school, then that drop will affect everyone, okay? So if you've been told you're not good at math, and you don't study, you don't have a routine, and you go into methods and you get like a D straight away, then of course you might be considering dropping out or getting a tutor or whatever, okay? What's important to understand though is that is just upping the difficulty, but you didn't move with the difficulty there as well. So you can do methods as long as you establish a routine of work to get used to that, okay? Now everyone is fully capable of doing it. Now, the other thing is with methods is more options, okay? So if you do methods, you will have more options overall. Now, what do I mean by this? When you finish school, let's say you do general math, and that's completely fine. I'm not saying general math is bad at all, okay? But I am saying if you do methods, you will have more opportunities at university than you would if you did general math because of certain prerequisites, okay? Now, if you did general math and let's say you're heading into a university degree that requires you to do methods, you're going to have to do a bridging course, okay? It would have been easier just to do it in school rather than doing general math. So it makes no sense to go through school, do general math, and then do a bridging course. Because the bridging courses are usually more rushed and they're on the same stuff anyway. So you might as well have done it in year 11, okay? Now, after bringing up all those points, what is the major takeaway, okay? So, I have 2 major takeaways, okay? Because I don't think everyone should do methods, in my opinion, okay? I think you should do methods if you can establish an actual realistic study routine, okay? And you obviously need it, okay? So, obviously that's the main part there. You should not do methods if you don't need it and you aren't willing to work for it. If you're not willing to work for it, you should drop out of methods, okay? Because if you hire a tutorer to help you with methods and you're not studying on building a routine with that and you're not actually applying yourself, then you're only relying on the tutor. And the tutor won't be enough. It doesn't matter if you have the best tutor in the world. If they're seeing you once a week for 1 hour, you can get more out of the fact of studying 5 hours a day and then having the tutor with you, etc. Tutor complements your study. If you don't have study, then the tutor can't really complement it. It's a sole source then, okay? So takeaway is, if you're not going to work hard in year 11 and 12, then don't do methods, straight up. Because methods has so much work in it. It's got, other than like specialists in chemistry, it's got probably the most amount of work in it. Because like you need it for like, well, you need stuff in methods for specialists, etc. Okay. Well, those are the main points I wanted to bring up in today's video. Now, let me know if you did like this style of video. This is a little bit different. Now, what you would have also seen on the channel is all the other educational videos as well. So, just a little plug. What we're doing at Numerical Tutoring is we're trying to build pretty much the biggest education platform ever for all subjects. Okay? So if you need help with any of them, just click the link in the description below, fill out a thing, and we'll get back to you pretty much as soon as we can, okay? But otherwise, I hope you enjoyed, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.